Today I'm going to show you how to make a super cute stocking name tag out of this banner mold. All products are from Diamonds and Dust Shop, and we are just going to start with mixing our green glitter. It's called What the Elf. It's a beautiful mix of greens, and we're going to mix that into our epoxy and pour it in our mold. When you pour epoxy into the mold, you want to make sure it's full without overflowing. This will save you a lot of time in the future from sanding. For my second stocking tag color, I decided to go with this mini chunky gold. It's called Your Highness. And we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. Mix it into our epoxy and fill up the mold to the top without overflowing. After you get your mold all poured, you're going to take a heat gun and pop those bubbles. Make sure you're using a heat gun and not a torch, as the torch gets too hot and can fuse your silicone to your epoxy. Once your epoxy is all cured, go ahead and pop those out of the mold, and we are going to go ahead and dome the back. Doming is very important and will give you a very shiny and professional finish. As you can see here, there is a slightly raised, sharp edge, and we're just going to gently sand a little bit of that down. We want to leave a little bit of a ridge to help keep the epoxy in when we dome. I like to place my pieces on this silicone hot pad I got probably from the dollar store or somewhere inexpensive like that. It has these like little raised dots, so it keeps my piece elevated. Just in case the epoxy from doming drips, it will drip down the side and not puddle and ruin your piece. When you are doming, it's best to take something like a popsicle stick and just gently start adding it to the center and spreading it to the sides, and just keep adding until you get a slightly domed look on the back. This can be a little bit technical. You want it to go right to the side and not over the side, and you want enough that when the epoxy shrinks a little bit that you don't get a gap from the side. So this is a little bit of a learning curve, but very, very important on all your epoxy mold pieces. Take your heat gun again and pop those bubbles on the back, and then you're going to set those pieces to the side to cure. This is what a successful dome should look like. It's slightly raised and domed, but gives that really professional, shiny and smooth finish and helps that glitter just pop. Now this step is not necessary, but it's super helpful tip. We're going to take some liquid latex and spread that on the back of our domed piece and wait until it dries clear to flip it over and do the front. Now that the liquid latex is clear, like so, we're gonna flip it over and start working on the front. I went ahead and typed out the names that I wanted and then did an offset on the names. After I took the offset to the center of the banner SVG and cut that out. Line your pattern vinyl up in the center of your piece and apply. I cut the name out of a coordinating color of vinyl, and we're just going to place that right inside of the offset. Since I chose a thin cursive font, I left the inside of the G and the L, E, Y, so I could just place it and easily weed it on my piece. I chose a different pattern vinyl and color for the name on the gold one, but the steps will be the same. Now it's super important you don't leave this part out. Our pieces are not complete until the front is domed. It will help protect the vinyl that you just placed, and it will just take those to the next level. It will take it from a craft to more of a professionally finished piece. So make sure you dome your molded pieces. This is where that liquid latex will come in handy. If by chance your dome dripped onto the back, once you remove that liquid latex, the drips would come with it and the back stays shiny and perfect without it getting ruined. Go ahead and pick some bubblegum beads that match your piece. I'm taking a long piece of twine and I'm just going to thread both ends through the front and then pull those ends through the loop to make it look like this. And then we're going to take a thin piece of wire. I'm going to use this kind of like a threading tool, and we're going to thread on the beads of choice. Now that you have all of your beads on, go ahead and just make a double knot and then decide how long you want your name to dangle down. I decided I didn't like mine to dangle too much, so I only made about a 2-inch loop from the bead and then just tied both strands around and then trimmed off the excess twine. Now your pieces are all finished. Go ahead and hang them on your stocking hook and admire how freaking adorable they turned out.